Evening, everybody. It's 5:25, and it's time for your closing comment for today. Excuse me, Tuesday, March the 15th. Okay, this is your video number 1190, and I remind you, as always, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. We put out an extra YouTube today on a trade that we executed in corn, giving the rationale and expectations. Okay, so last night the futures were down hard. By this morning, they were up a little. After the numbers, the PPI number and the Empire State Index came out, they rallied a little bit harder. In any event, that rally continued all day right into the close, and the Dow was up 599.10 or 1.82. The biggest gainer on the day was the Nasdaq, up 367.40, 2.92. Right behind that was the Dow Jones Transports, up 2.56 or just under 390, followed by the S&P up 89.34, 2.14%, and the Russell was the laggard, up $27, 1.4%. This morning, I told you about Coupa Software. It had traded down to about 63, and managed to gain a bit from that, closing at 72.55, still down 17 and a quarter or 19%. Airlines were also very strong. Delta up 287, which was 8.7%. UAL up 322, 9.2%. And the laggard there was LUV closing, that's Southwest, LUV closing 42.06, up $1.96 or just 5%. I'm also going to mention AMC again because for my life I don't understand why anybody owns this stock. Um, I'm a little aggressive on the going to the movies, have been for a little while, and the theaters nearest me are AMC. When I go to see the hottest movie of the weekend, and there are only 18 or 20 people in a theater that holds 100. It makes me wonder why anybody would be concerned about buying AMC. Let's remember that within the last year, the stock was $72, and today at the low, it was $12.90. Although it did rally a bit to close 14.51, and that was up 21% or 1% on the day. The reason I mention it is because this guy is all over the place. Oh, we're going to take Bitcoin for admission and snacks and drinks, and oh, we're going to go into the popcorn business because who knows popcorn better than us? I don't know, Orville Rickenbacker, the other 19 different brands that you see in the grocery store every time you walk down that aisle. And what the hell does having retail popcorn have to do with rebuilding a company whose revenues continue to fall? Well, today they announced that they bought a piece of a gold and silver mine, Hycroft. I mentioned it this morning. Hycroft has moved in the last week from 31 cents to $2.97. It was up 500% yesterday. Um, so it hit 297 pre-market this morning. When the stock actually opened, it could only get up to 272. Not that that was bad. I mean, was I think in this morning's call it was 253, up 66%, 66 cents or 37%. Uh, didn't quite hold on to that. It traded down to $1.42 and closed at $1.57, up 18 cents or 13%. Now I know that the CEO is a quote professional CEO. I know he's run a couple of companies. I know that he ran um, MTN Mountain, which is Vail Resorts, which has had amazing growth. But this company is back to pre pandemic, which is to say, crap, doing poorly, not making profits of any magnitude, and going off in 17 different directions. If it were 1999, the company would be called AMC.com. In any event, you can tell about my disdain for this kind of promotion. Okay, bonds were down a half a point, and the entire curve gained a bit. The 2 year gained a couple of basis points, and the 10 year, after those numbers came out this morning, traded down to 2.10. Managed to close the day 2.16, which was actually up 2 basis points. As far as futures go, oil was down hard. I mentioned last night and again this morning that I thought it could get to 95. It went through there, got down to 93.53 before turning back and closing the day down $6.50 at 96.44. Same situation with the gold. I thought that the gold looked like it could pull back a bit down to 1900. Today's low, 1908. Just to put that in perspective, when I said that yesterday and last night, it was trading at 1965. So that's $60 to the downside. That's pretty hefty. And when you look at the run that it had from this breakout at 1966 up to 2078, um, this is getting towards $200. In any event, I think, and I mentioned this morning, I would start to buy. I had several people in the Discord room ask. I said I would start to buy it down here. It was trading around 1918 at the time. I said you're right into support, and frankly, you buy a third or a half of your position, and if it goes up or down 10%, you add to it. Bitcoin traded up to almost 40,000 today, closed 39,760, up 930 on the day. It was a little higher, but it did not crack 40,000. And the trade that I mentioned before, the corn, we got into the corn today, pretty close to the low actually. I think we're in a consolidation. I mentioned it last night when it had closed higher, and we went in. The low for the day was 736. We went in when it was about 740, so right about here. And we not only made a new high on the day, but we closed practically on the high of the day, 22 cents a bushel from the low, 1 cent a bushel from the high. Um, you know, there's really only one higher close than today, and that was 762.40. So 762 and a half, pardon me, those are quarters. So, I think we can break out here. When we were back here in the 782 area, CORN was about 27 and 3/4. It closed today, I believe, 27 and a quarter, 2709 in late trading, but that's 100 share trade. I believe it closed closer to 26 and a quarter, up on the high of the day. We bought the 27s for $1.10 and $1.15, and 27 and 3/4. If we were to get back up into this area, would double those options. All right, everyone. I'll be back first thing in the morning tomorrow. Tomorrow we have FOMC, second day of the meeting, and the announcement on rate, which, if it's anything but a quarter, I would be dramatically surprised. retail sales, import export, NAHB housing index, business inventories, and mortgage apps. Oh, one other small item. Um, Today, with the market up as much as it was, I just want to bring up the idea of most of the stocks that really ran today were the ones that were down the most. All of the FANG stocks, with the exception, of course, in the mega cap arena of Baidu and Alibaba, all of those other stocks that have gotten pounded down 15, 18, 20%, have a nice rally of 2.9%, 367. But you need to put that in context. 8 of the last 10 days, including today, were down. They were down anywhere from $35 to $482 on that index. The average over those 8 days was a loss of 204. I'm not saying it should make it up all in one day, but what I am saying is when it goes down and it's 3 to 1 or 4 to 1 advanced declines, and then when it turns back up and has almost a 3% day, it's only 1.5, and volume goes from just under 6 billion to just over 5 billion, down about 10 or 12%. That is really not what you want to see. You want to see declining volume on the declines, not on the rallies. So I haven't changed my attitude at all about what kind of market we're in. And I think you need some balance, and you need to not be in positions that are not appropriate to your risk profile. Now, I'll see you in the morning.